Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. It is the 2nd of August 2012, and this is basically, I escaped out 12 years ago at the end of July. It was, I think, July 21st, right around there. And usually every year I kind of do an update of, kind of just what's gone on. So much has gone on this year. It's been outrageously fantastic. And so I have a bunch to tell you. First of all, for guys that are new, I'm just going to recap a little bit, which is I escaped out I was in Scientology for 30 years. I escaped out in July of 2000, having been on the internet for 4 weeks. I made 4,000 posts in 4 weeks. That's a lot of posting. I was not working, there you go. I was not working for the Office of Special Affairs. I had, oh, wow, hello. I just thought that light went off, so I'll turn on this light, whatever. I have one light that's kind of going on and off on me, so it'll either turn on or it'll turn off. You know what? Maybe I'll fix it. I know what I'll do. I'll turn on my overhead light. And then you can really see my whole room. There you go. Woo! All right. There you go. That's better. Now I can turn this one off, because that's like a little way too much. All right, so you can see my little fan club behind me. Those are all my buddies, which I've had for all my life, just so you know. I've always had like little buddies on my bed, and that's been a whole nother story, which I'll tell you sometime. Anyway, 30 years ago, I escaped out. Well, 30 years I got in. Actually, now it's 42. Good God. Unbelievable. Was in for 30, escaped out, been out for 12. So, when I first got out, I left on the internet. I announced it on the internet. Magoo left the building. You can type that in Google and see the post. But I knew nothing about the internet, even though I'd been working with my auditor, opening up these phony accounts so they could handle the critics on the internet. But I really didn't know what the internet was. I had no clue. So when I announced Magoo left the building, I thought it was going to like 50 people. I really did. So then they canceled my ban. Vice President, the plane was canceled. I'm not sure if they did it or it was an accident, but it was another coincidence. Then I walk inside, and the vice president is there of the Church of Scientology saying, "We know where you're going, you're not going there." So I get on my phone with Bob Minton, Stacy Brooks, and Jesse Prince, and they basically walked me through it. Jesse got on the phone and said, "We're going to walk you through this." Got me on the plane. I get to Chicago. My husband's there, who doesn't know anything about all this top secret stuff I've been working with the Audi on for years. And he didn't know anything about it because we were sworn to secrecy. So it was just very odd. So anyway, long story short, I get to Tampa. The Tampa police helped me get out of the airport because they were there. Scientology was there. And I wasn't really going to speak out. I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to speak out. I had told Stacey, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to pick it. Nothing. Right? That's it. I'm just leaving under the radar. She said, "Okay, I'm just doing for you," inviting me to come to Clearwater, where they were located, what I wish someone would have done for me, right? When I left the Sea Org. And I understood that, so that was cool. So, and it was very unusual, though, because it's like they were these huge SPs, and I was in the church, right? And totally, and I'll put a link to it. Somebody had shown me, the Mad Hair had shown me this video of me when I was on OT7, and Ray Midoff had come with these new OT5 rundowns, and I'll put the link in here so you can see what I looked like. And they were all laughing. I mean, it was funny. For me, it was very sad because I thought of all the people I knew who were alive back then that are dead now, that were in the Church of Scientology and died at very young ages, way too young to die. And 7 young people that I personally know who have taken their own lives. And it just was like, I just burst out crying. And the Mad Hair walked me all the way over to the restaurant we were going to with his arm around me. And Sam Domingo was kind enough to take a picture of us from behind, arm in arm, and then ran around in the front and took a picture of us and then posted it on the internet, let the healing begin. So it was a very moving moment for me. But anyway, I'll post a link there because it is funny. It's it's me 20 years ago. You'll see what I look like 20 years ago. And I wasn't phony. Some people said, "Oh, you look like you're really phony." I wasn't. I was really, truly excited because OT7 did not work for me. And I thought, good, this is it. This is, you'll see me saying, okay, this is going to work, and it's with that sigh of like, oh, I've been, Scientology is like a triangle. How do you like this? I got this this is for Scientology and the Office of Special Affairs especially. There you go. I got that at the gift shop for $1. I thought, I got to do it in my videos. Yes! So there you go, to Gavino and Bigliotti especially. So that's that. Anyway, got out, and Pete told me they have a little drinking thing whenever I do the same things over, because I say a lot of things over because there's new people that come on. So that's a recap of that. I wasn't going to pick it. I wasn't going to speak out. You can Google, I'll put it in here, Magoo Dancing in Boston. It's my very first video. I didn't make it. I didn't even know it was being made, really. Bunker was there filming, but I thought he was filming for Stacy and Bob. I didn't really realize it was a video he was making all about me, which he put me on the internet that night, and they declared me suppressive that night, which, for the drinking game, oh yeah, there goes the light. The lights are on, and bingo, here you go. Tori Bazazian, suppressive person declare, and that was on the 19th, what was it? 15th of September 2000. So, boom, overnight declared. Again, for any Scientologists that are watching this, first of all, you don't have to be afraid of me, which somebody told me today. You know, they were very afraid to watch my videos. And I know Scientology really does build in how evil and horrible and terrible I am. But you'll see, you know, I'm not. I'm just another person that's here trying to tell people, you know, stuff that they need to know before they make a decision. An educated guess, let's just say that. You know, before you get suckered into something. Because I got in at 22. I escaped out at 53. So if I can help you, especially young people, not get suckered into that cult, or business people who think, ooh, I can 3x my statistics, don't do it. Because they don't really do it, and it's awful. The real truth is it's just a front group. Same with Narconon. So anyway, when I did escape out, once that video was made and Scientology kept picking on me, I thought, you know, I have a voice too. And you can even see it in the video, because there's a point where I go over and I'm like, hi, Andreas! And it was just like, boom, all holes barred, because this guy had been videotaping me. I went across the street. I was really hot. Bob said, go turn on the air conditioning and rest in the van. So I'm in the van. He still keeps videotaping me all the way over, puts the camera on the window of the van. That was the second I went, that's it. I got a voice too. And I started speaking out. And I haven't shut up since. And it was a big mistake, Davey Miscavige. You should have let me go, because I was going to do nothing, not say anything, just move on my way. But oh no, they had to keep irritating me and ticking me off, and you've continued over the years, and I say, good job. Now I say thank you to the Church of Scientology, because you guys have managed to destroy your church like nobody else could. That we certainly couldn't have done what you've done. And I said it in 2000. It is not going to be the ex-Scientologists that destroy Scientology. There's an army out here, and this was before Anonymous, of critics that are standing up for free speech. And believe me, they are not going away, because they don't care about the bridge to total freedom. They don't want it. And I said it in 2000, and I'll say it again. And now Anonymous arrived, and that was a major turning point. And even if every single Anonymous person left, which they haven't, but even if they did, they made a mark in history that will never change. People came out because of that first picket with 9,000 people, executives that were in the church that had never really said their names. All of a sudden, boom, this is who I am. Books were written that were never, you know, information came out in time, place, form, and event that is fabulous. You know, Jeff Hawkins has a book, Mark Headley has a book, Amy Scobie has a book, Nancy Maney has a book, The Complex. You know, these are all fantastic books. Along with the earlier ones, there were only 3, which was Ben Corden's Messiah, L. Ron Hubbard, Messiah or a Madman, Russell Miller's Barefaced Messiah, and A Piece of Blue Sky. Those were the first 3 books for years. And then after Anonymous, boom, all these books came out. And please, other people keep writing. Don't think it's all been said, because there's a lot of different avenues to this, as you all know. Now, as an update, back in 2000, you know, we'd maybe get someone to leave in a year. You know, it was just such a slow train. There was like 4 or 5 of us that would speak out with the media. That was it. A journalist called me recently and said, do you have an in with the media or something? And I said, no, why? And she said, because you're all over the internet getting interviewed. And I said, that's because for 7 years it was me, Artie Lerma, Jerry Armstrong, Lawrence Wallersheim, Bob Minton. You know, there were like a few people that would speak on the internet. That was it. That was it. Everybody else was like, I'll tell you information, I'll give you facts, but don't say my name. Don't say my name. For anything, for the front groups, for Scientology, everything. But once Anonymous came, that all changed. So now there's all kinds of spokespeople, thankfully, that are talking, speaking out, telling information, which is fantastic because it's factual information that needs to be known. There's been some court cases. Okay, the Headleys lost their case. And someone's like, oh, see, blah, 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 blah. They may have lost a fight. But Scientology, in doing all the creepy things they've done, has lost the war. And that's a fact. You can look in their buildings. You don't have to believe me. I say it all the time. You can go read, look, listen, read people's books, watch the interviews on the internet, xenutv.com, xenutv.com. Great other place to watch all these interviews. The Village Voice, Tony Ortega is fabulous. I mean, oh my God, Tony, you are doing such a great job. I mean, it's just, I can't say it enough. Kudos to everyone. Dave Love nailing a Narconon. I mean, in this last month, Katie and Tom, who were married, so happy, oh, we're Scientologists, bop, bop, bop. Okay, Katie, obviously she and her dad went on the internet and learned a little bit more about the dark side, and very wisely divorced Tom Cruise in a very, very good way, where she's safe and Suri's safe. Okay, so there you go. And Tom Cruise, your thing about doing all this, like, just mushing all this stuff all over your daughter publicly is pathetic. Why don't you just be a dad for once instead of being a Scientologist, and instead of trying to show the world that you're better than everybody else? Just let your daughter be and be a dad, for Christ's sake. Anyway, there was that last month. David Miscavige's dad, for any of you who don't know, escaped out of the Church of Scientology. Diana Hubbard, who is the last child in the Church of Scientology actively, her daughter left the Church of Scientology. Unfortunately, horribly, 4 people died as part of being part of the Narconon program. And there's a lot of media about that. There's a lot of media about Tom and Cruise, and I'm very sorry to the families who lost their... I mean, it's so awful to even say that. I'm sorry your children are dead. I mean, it's awful. But there's so many deaths in Scientology. I can't say it enough. Stay away from it. I've said it for 12 years. Bail while you still can. And people don't. But you know what? People have died over and over these years that didn't need to die. The Feshbacks. I forget which one, but he's dead. Now, Jessica Feshbach, who was there handling Katie. If you remember, before they were married, it was Tom Cruise, Katie, and somebody in between. That girl was Jessica Feshbach. Well, unfortunately, she now has cancer, and Tommy Davis, who used to be the PR who did the whole thing with John Sweeney and a bunch of other people, is now, I think, out. I don't know if he's blown or what, but he's apparently helping his wife, who's not very well at all with cancer. And so, okay, those are those things. Also, 3 parents, because of these deaths, contacted me and said, number one, the first one, her daughter called her and said, get me out of here. I watched the girl die. I don't want to be here. So we contacted the police, and this was great. The police, I said, will you be there? Can you send a car? And now here in LA, they probably wouldn't. Burbank, they would. But in Los Angeles, LAPD, probably not. But boy, I'm telling you, we're in Michigan, absolutely. There was no question, no timing on or anything. We'll be there. And they were. They escorted Mimi in, and they escorted Ashley and Mimi out. And I want to thank the police department in Michigan for doing that. I think it's very cool. Very cool of Ashley that you called your mother. The other kids in Narconon, whose parents, one parent, a couple, drove 14 hours to get their son out. And they got him out. And good job. I know they may make you feel like you've done the wrong thing, but you haven't. You've definitely done the right thing. And so that's 3 people out of Narconon in 1 month that's happened. And of course, Karen De La Care, who used to be married to Heber Jentz, the president of the church, who is ironically now locked out in the hole out in Hemet. Their son, Alexander, died. Karen found out about it on the internet, on Facebook, and was so glorious in the way she handled it. It was with such dignity and love and kindness. They would not allow her to see her son or have his ashes, which I can't think of anything less non-religious than that. I mean, it's just so, it so proved they're not a religion to me. It was just like, I know they aren't anyway. They're a total business. But this was like disgusting, Scientology. It was like the bottom of the barrel for me. It was just awful. But Karen rose above it. She had her own memorial service, bless her heart, and it was wonderful. And if I can, I'll put the links in here on that because it was really nice. And then that was pretty much it. It's been a pretty wild month. You know what I mean? And and the other thing is that a couple of people, I won't say what countries, but from other countries have contacted me. One was going to join the Sea Org and is now not. And that was in one little conversation because there's so many great links on the internet now that I could just like boom, 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 and there you go. And the other one, I posted the conversation on xscientology.net because I thought people should see, you know, like in one conversation. I mean, the old timers, we know it took months and months to talk to someone to finally have them wake up. And now people are like, you know, because there's enough proof out there that there you go. So if you are still in the Church of Scientology, which is hard to believe for me that people are still staying with all this information out there, but if you are, wake up and look on the internet. We're not biting you. Have I hurt you on this discussion? No. Please look on the internet, learn both sides, and if you can, take back your life and come on out. I know it may seem like excuse me, there's nothing left for you to do. That is so far from the truth. I know a ton of people who've left who are doing great. Most people, you know, it's like, it's amazing. So please, come on out, take your life back, and have a good time with us. And for everyone around the world who is helping to expose the abuses of this phony business, pretending to be a church, I thank you from the bottom and the top of my heart. I love you. I love you all. And thank you for all of you at my YouTube site and my Facebook site. I dearly love you. And all my friends, everyone who's helped me, people have helped me around the world. And it's just, it's truly been incredible. It's just been an incredible thing. So thank you so much. I love you. And peace out. And have a wonderful weekend.